everyone, I'm Sarah and this is Keto-A-GoGo. If you have not been on my channel previously, I have lost 90 pounds while doing the ketogenic diet and I love it because it's super easy to follow and it's a great lifestyle. So today I'm going to show you some keto kitchen staples that you need to have in your house if you're going to want to do the ketogenic diet. So if you're new to the ketogenic diet with your macros, what you want to do is do 75% fats. You want to do 20% of that protein and 5% of that just carbs. So I'm going to show you guys all the food that I keep in my house to keep my macros on point. So first I'm going to start with seasonings, and for me I always keep a lot of seasonings on hand because I like to switch up the flavor of my foods. So the first one, and this is the one that I use the most often, is taco seasoning. Now I posted a video on my channel about how to make this, so I will link it in the description below so you guys can watch it if you want to make this as well. But for me, we use this a couple times a week. We use it for not only just tacos, we use it for fajitas and it's super good. The other thing that I get is this Trader Joe's seasoning salt. It is also delicious and it has no added sugar in it. So I think it's Johnny's has added sugar in it. So I actually threw that away and bought this one. And then another thing that I use from Trader Joe's is this onion salt. It is so delicious on eggs and it's just amazing on everything. I actually put this on avocados the other day. Oh, it was delicious. Other thing that I keep on hand is paprika. I love paprika. I don't use it that often, but when I do, I use a lot of it and it's delicious and it's really good on like practically everything. You can put it on eggs, you can put it on avocados, you can put it on meat, you can put it on, I love putting it on my chicken. So another thing is black pepper, and then pink Himalayan salts. I get this grinder thingy at Costco. So another thing is garlic salt. As you can tell, we use a lot of it. And this will be included in the next week's recipe video, so stay tuned for that. So this is reduced sugar ketchup. I use this on my eggs and the carb count on this is just 1 carb for 1 tablespoon. I don't use it that often. This dressing, oh my god, I'm obsessed with it. It is so good. It is Lighthouse Caesar dressing. The carbs on it are 1 gram of carbs for 2 tablespoons. That is amazing in any dressing. So another thing that we use is the chunky salsa. I get this at Walmart. Super good. The macros on this are 2 grams of carbs per 2 tablespoons. This is delicious. We use sour cream so much. I use this in the taco seasoning with my taco salad or with my cauliflower taco thingy that I made in the previous video of the day in the life. Now we're gonna move on to like fats. So this is what I use in my pans for my like eggs or just like beef or anything, to just not to get it to stick. It's super good. Trader Joe's. Obviously I like Trader Joe's. Another thing is we use olive oil. You need to have this in your kitchen at all times. This is so like quick and easy fat to get in. The fats on this are 14 grams. Wait, is that right? Yeah, 14 grams for 1 tablespoon. So that's a lot of fat and it's easy to get it in. Just drizzle it in a pan with your eggs or with your chicken or pretty much anything. So another thing is coconut oil. We use coconut oil for everything. We sometimes will just open it and eat it with a spoon. Put it in our bulletproof coffees that we make. We will also put it in a pan and cook our eggs in it. And my all-time favorite thing to eat by far is Kerrygold butter. And for a lot of people, you know, when they talk to me about keto, they're like, well, do I really have to spend the money to get grass-fed butter? My personal opinion is no, you do not. But it tastes so much better. The flavor in this butter, a million times better than the other regular butters that you buy from the store. This one is so good. And trust me, when you buy this, you're not going to be sorry that you switched to this butter. Oh, and almost forgot because I was talking about it so much. So the fat on this is 11 grams for 1 tablespoon. So that's really good. It's easy to get your fat in. We put this in coffee. We put this in pans to make eggs. I will put this in my chicken broth. So a girl who also has another channel on here, who is named CrazyGirlKeto Girl, she gave me a recipe for this butter with chicken broth. So you put this in there, I think she said like 1 or 2 tablespoons, put it in there with your chicken broth, and then I froth it up with my frother that I have. And then just put some like pink Himalayan salt. Ooh, so delicious, bulletproof chicken broth. So if you guys are interested in her channel, I'll go ahead and link it in the description below. Another thing that we consume a lot of in my family, because there is 7 people that live here, 5 of which are kids who happen to love these, is eggs. Eggs. So I don't always buy the brown eggs, but these ones were actually not very much more expensive than the white ones. So I was like, I'll just buy the brown eggs. They taste better. And we seriously go through probably like 5 dozen eggs per week. We make hard-boiled eggs, which we keep in our fridge, and we can make, with those eggs, you can make deviled eggs throughout the week. We'll just grab one for a quick little snack. Scrambled eggs, omelets, it's endless with keto. You can eat as many eggs as you want practically. So now let's talk about cheese. Okay, I have my own personal drawer. Actually, it's now going into 2 drawers because it's overflowing of cheeses. I love cheese. I have a love affair with cheese. It is delicious. And with being on keto, you can have cheese. Who knew? It is so delicious. It is usually 0 carb in moderation. So I'm gonna show you guys what type of cheeses I eat. So I eat the cream cheese. I use this in my fathead pizza recipes. I will use this and just grab like pepperoni and roll it up in there with a quick little snack. It's so versatile and so yummy. The other thing that I get is this Kerrygold Dubner cheese. It is so good. It comes in little triangles. You can take it out and just eat them plain, or use the pepperoni like I did with the cream cheese. The other types of cheeses that we eat is Tillamook. I buy it in the block and then pre-shred it. I think the Tillamook cheese is so good. Or what I'll do is I'll just slice off a few and just eat them for a snack or eat them with my meal. Another thing that we get is a huge thing of these string cheeses at Costco. They're so good. The fat on these is 6 grams of fat, 1 gram of carb, and 6 grams of protein. So it's super good. And that's for 1 cheese stick. And here is the shredded cheeses that we usually use. So if I do buy shredded cheese, I buy the Mexican style blend, the shredded stuff. It's super good. I use this on the fathead pizzas, or I just put it on eggs after I've scrambled them up. And then the other thing that we buy is Parmesan cheese. I put this on salads, or my kids, my twin girls actually just like it put on their plate, and then they just kind of take bites out of it. So this other cheese is really good for on-the-go snacking. Just grab one and go. These are pre-packaged little pieces of cheese. Well, they're not like little, they're pretty good size. That was the mild cheddar, and then this is the Colby Jack. So good. And they're the Fred Meyer Kroger brand. And they both have 0 carbs and 7 grams of fat per one. So now there's a lot of people who do keto who don't actually consume a lot of vegetables. I try to consume as much vegetables as I can, and luckily with that I'm a huge veggie fan. So one of the biggest things that we use in our house is cabbage. We make a lot of sausage and cabbage. I love steamed cabbage with the Kerrygold butter in it with some salt. It is so good. The other thing that we have a lot of, well, mainly me because my kids don't like these, is Brussels sprouts. Now I get these in the steamable bags, and what I'll do is I will steam them up, put them in the oven after they're done, and I will drizzle olive oil and salt and pepper on them and leave them in the oven at 425 for like a few minutes just till they're a little bit brown, and it's so good. Other thing that we eat a lot of is broccoli. I always keep these steamable broccolis in my freezer. I literally probably have like 10 of these in there right now. What I will do sometimes if I'm like in a hurry and don't have time to make a huge lunch for myself is I'll have like 2 or 3 eggs, pop this into the microwave, and then what I will do is I will eat it. Just that and eggs, simple. So you guys might have seen this one in a previous video that I did. This is the riced cauliflower that I use. I keep a couple bags of this in the freezer. You can literally do anything with riced cauliflower. It is so versatile, so easy to use, and super keto friendly. So this one is the Green Giant brand. So this one has 4 grams of carbs, 2 of that is fiber. So for you net carbers, this would be 2. I personally just counted as 4, and that's just for 1 cup. So for me, I don't happen to eat this that often, and I recently had a dental procedure done, so I had to eat soft foods. So I actually bought this for the first time in a very long time since being on keto. I used to buy this product all the time when I first started keto, but it is a little higher in carbs, so I don't usually get it too often, but my kids love it, and so do I, and that is cottage cheese. So I love cottage cheese. So the problem with cottage cheese for me while doing keto is I can easily consume too much of it. So I have to measure out my cottage cheese. And for this one, it is 5 grams of carbs for ½ cup. So I always have to measure this out. And if you guys don't have a measuring thing or a scale like this one, sorry, it's dirty. You guys should really get one. So I don't really think that you should be weighing on your stuff every single day. I keep the scale on hand just to make sure that my portions stay in control. Half and half is life. I love half and half. I used to use heavy cream all the time for my coffee. I have recently switched to half and half because for me, heavy cream was just too thick. I already had the butter and I already had the coconut oils in my coffee, and it was just too thick for me. I just didn't like it anymore. So I switched to half and half. It's super tasty. And the macros on this half and half, which is the Alpenrose brand, is 2 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fat, and 1 gram of protein, and no fiber. So it's 2 grams per 2 tablespoons, and I use this once a day. Sometimes I don't even use this, but it is a great alternative for coffee if you do not like heavy cream. But heavy cream is really good in your scrambled eggs, which I still use heavy cream just for my eggs to give it a nice fluffy texture. So now I'm going to show you guys the proteins and meats that I keep in my fridge. So this is ground beef. Sorry, it's a little frozen still. This is ground beef. We usually always stick with the 75% lean and the 25% fat, but they didn't actually have that this time, so I had to get the 80%. And it honestly doesn't, to me, it doesn't really matter to me if it's grass-fed or not. I personally, since I have a large family, I can't afford grass-fed meats. It's just not going to happen for me. If you can, then yes, there's benefits to it. But for me personally, being on a budget with 5 kids, it's just not feasible. The other thing that we get all the time is Costco bacon. Now, if you guys have watched one of my other videos, I talked about this a little bit more, but the Costco bacon does not have any added sugars in it. So if you're watching your sugars, really get this bacon. Notice it is low sodium. Notice it is lower sodium, which is fine. Just make sure you salt your foods in other ways. So I kind of already showed you guys this, talking about the cream cheese, but this is pepperoni. We get it from Trader Joe's. It is very good. It's not spicy. My daughter loves pepperoni. She will literally, if I let her, she will go through this entire thing in one sitting, no joke. But the macros on this are amazing. So the macros on this are 1 gram of carb, 0 grams of fiber, and 8 grams of protein and 9 grams of fat. And that is for 7 pieces of pepperoni. So keeping like little lunch meats and pepperoni in your fridge, especially if you have kids, is something cheap and something easy. I think this at Trader Joe's is like $1.99 or $2.99, and we get like 4 or 5 of these when we go to Trader Joe's because we don't always go to Trader Joe's weekly. Another staple in our house, like I kind of showed you guys earlier, is sausage and cabbage. Put these 2 together, steam them up. It is super easy meal. Literally all you have to do is chop and put it into a pot with some butter and a little bit of water. Super easy. If you have kids and you're on a tight budget, this is super cheap. These I got at Fred Meyer for 2 for $5. This, I don't remember how much it cost. I think it's like $1. But either way, it's not that expensive. So the macros on this is 15 grams of fat, 1 gram of carb, 1 gram of sugar, and 8 grams of protein. And that is for 2 ounces. So when I eat this, what I usually do now, just to make sure that my portions are really good, because I'm trying to lose a lot more weight prior to my race that I have coming up, is I will grab that scale and I will measure it out. You guys might be shocked at portions after you actually start measuring your food. The other thing that we get a lot that we like is chicken. Now there's a lot of people who do keto and say that you can't eat chicken because it doesn't have much fat in it. But I don't honestly agree with that, because you can put fat into any type of meat that you eat and make it fattier. You can put the butter in that I talked about. You can put the olive oil in. You can put in heavy cream and make I think it's called cracked chicken. It's super versatile. I mean, any meats I think on keto are versatile. You can make them into anything. So with these, I like to get the thinly sliced chicken breast because I feel like I can work with them more. What you can do is you can actually put cream cheese in the center of these. Sorry, what you can actually do is put cream cheese in the center of these and roll them up and then just put seasoning on it, and it's really good. So something that I recently found was this at Fred Meyer. So this is a little bit on the spendy side, but for me, having this in my freezer and knowing that it only takes a few minutes in the oven just makes doing a keto lifestyle that much easier. So this one is the premium grilled chicken chunks. It's buffalo ranch style chicken. The macros on this are 6 grams of fat, 1 gram of carbs, and 17 grams of protein. And it's 3 ounces per serving, which they say is about 7. So, I mean, these are pretty big. And usually what I do with these is you cook them in the oven. And then what I will do is I will take some ranch dressing, measure it out, obviously. What I usually do with that is I usually also add like a salad or some type of veggie on the side. So another thing to keep in your pantry while you're doing a ketogenic diet is going to be almond flour and coconut flour. So this is the almond flour that we use, and we actually get it at Costco in a big bag. And Costco actually just came out with their own brand of almond flour, which I have another bag in my pantry of. I keep a lot of almond flour on hand just because I'm trying to keep my kids also keto friendly and keep them in a ketogenic lifestyle. And for them, I don't really have to worry about them stalling because they're not doing it for weight loss, they're doing it for health reasons. So for me, keeping almond flour in my cupboard is going to be a staple, and it's going to continue to be a staple. And with almond flour, you can make pizzas, you can make biscuits, you can make pancakes. I mean, it's endless. This coconut flour I actually got at Trader Joe's, and I don't use it that often. This is like, this bag I bought probably 3 months ago, and it's like still full. Whew, so I'm flying around now. And with this, it is, so the serving size is 1/4 cup, and that's going to be 5 grams of fat, 21 grams of carbs with 13 grams of fiber, and the protein is 6 grams. So like I said, these are carbier, so you don't necessarily want to eat them all the time. So with the almond flour, the net carbs are actually a lot lower than the coconut flour. That's why I usually keep more of the almond flour versus the coconut flour in my pantry. So for 1/4 of a cup, it's going to be 15 grams of fat. It's going to be 5 grams of carbs. 3 of that is fiber. So for your net carbers, it's going to be 2 grams. And then the protein is 6. And personally, between the two, taste-wise, I prefer almond flour by far. I think coconut flour kind of has like a gritty taste, so the only time that I ever use this is if I'm going to make my kids like some sort of keto dessert. Next is going to be chocolate. I love chocolate. It is so good. This brand Lily's is amazing. I have 2 other flavors that are actually in my freezer right now that I have kind of partially eaten, so that's why I'm not showing you guys. But these ones are, so this is a crispy rice. I had this one previously and it's really good. So the macros on both of these are going to be for 2 squares of chocolate. So it's 14 grams of fat for this one, 23 grams of carbs, 11 of that is fiber, and 5 of that is erythritol. And then for this one is the Lily's dark chocolate. This happens to be one of my favorites. There's also another one that they have that's actually in my freezer that has little pieces of almonds in it, and it's also really good. So this one is gonna have 15 grams of fat, 22 grams of carbs, and 6 of that is erythritol, and then 12 grams of that is fiber. So for me, the reason why I have so many of these and the reason why they're barely eaten is because you really shouldn't consume a ton of chocolates like this when you're trying to lose weight. I usually keep them in my freezer just because it's something that I know that I can grab and that I will be okay if I have 1 or 2. Now if you're a binge eater, you might not want to keep this type of stuff in your freezer because it will tempt you and you can easily eat the entire bar. So that's pretty much what I keep in my fridge at all times. The only thing that I didn't show you guys was salad because I actually ran out. I usually always keep salad in my fridge. I use the spring mix, or what I'll do is I will get those huge bags of romaine lettuce that's pre-cut, and then I will just kind of make my own salads for the week. If you are currently keto and you're currently watching this video, please go ahead and comment below and let me know what are some of your keto staples that you keep in your kitchen. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. I will see you guys on the next video. Did you guys think that I forgot? And just remember guys, don't hate on me though, just because I do keto. Bye!